Hola, Internet amigos. What is today's date? Today's date is... It's Wednesday, the 4th of December. It's 3:06 p.m. in Querétaro, Mexico. Let's talk about Hegseth not getting his Pentagon job, Tulsi Gabbard, and good old Tucker Carlson in Moscow. Quickly, Tucker Carlson. What's he doing in Moscow?
Flying saucers. In the week since we left Russia, Moscow, where we are now, in February, after interviewing Vladimir Putin, we've watched from the United States as the Biden administration has driven the U.S. ever closer to a nuclear conflict with Russia, the country that possesses the world's largest nuclear arsenal.
Tucker Carlson is the lackey go-between. He's taking messages, private messages, directly to Vladimir Putin as part of his job for the City of London. That's what he's doing. That's his one and only job, the little whore, the vile, disgusting little man. Remember, he worked for a very small alternative media outlet called Fox News, run by a very small, struggling old media personality, Rupert Murdoch, the billionaire globalist, who's best friends with who, sorry? Yes, good old Heinz Kissinger. So nothing to see here, let's not mention that. You remember Bill Browder, who fell out with Putin? That was his job. Do you know Bill Browder's father was the head of the American Communist Movement? Isn't that funny? All these communists in these Frankfurt School Marxists in $1,000 Armani suits. I'm not sure whether they're communists or neocons, conservatives. They're just a little confused. Anyway, Browder, but before him was Armand Hammer, another big Communist Party movement who was running backwards and forwards, doing billion-dollar deals with the then Soviet Union. Amazing. And they're all what? Sorry, what are they all? Which identifiable group that we can't talk about unless you're Blazarian, a coke-dealing piece of garbage out there inciting online? Well, with all these things in mind, that's Tucker Carlson. I hope we cleared that up. Pete Hegseth, a fucking moron, a little girl who's started his career allegedly getting 2 Bronze Star Silvas, which I don't believe for a second. It's straight out of the Manchurian Gate with Denzel Washington. Yeah, don't buy it for a single second. That little clown with his little red shoes on another very small alternative media channel, Grassroots, Fox News.
Flying saucers.
As a presenter, Pretty Boy Floyd is up on some sort of sexual allegations which appear true. Now, it's not Trump's fault, everyone. No, he's trying. As Tim Pool tells us, it's the deep state. He's trying. Go, Trump. So, well, after we get over Tucker Carlson, the little bitch lackey running backwards and forwards to Moscow, sending private messages from Rupert Murdoch and others, and Susie Wiles.
Susie likes to stay sort of in the back, let me tell you. The ice baby, we call her the ice baby.
Susie is Susie Wiles, Trump's enigmatic top aide, who is now set to be his White House chief of staff, the first woman ever in that role.
Susie likes to stay in the background. She's not in the background.
Wiles has never done a television interview about her role in the president-elect's campaign.
Let's talk about Susie Wiles. Remember the chief of staff of Donald Trump and the campaign manager, who's a big World Economic Forum fan, a woman who's deeply involved with lobbying for Pfizer. Yeah, that one. I was looking her up. I can't find a single thing. It's not mentioned by anyone. I'm sure you're going to find some small, obscure channel on Rumble or somewhere. Please let me know. Send me links to my email. Don't put it on my Patreon. Send me the links to my email. Let's find someone talking about Susie Wiles. No, they're not talking about it because we've got all this other drama. Of course, Pete Hegseth was never getting that job. Tulsi Gabbard is never, she'll be next, never getting that job, although my gut clenches every time and says, don't be so sure, Brendon, the madness must continue. But we'll wait and see. Now, because what they can do is please the idiot base, please the idiot MAGA syphilitic monkey base by propping up these clowns. I mean, the stuff that's come out, she is the AOC of now the Republicans, Tulsi Gabbard, another World Economic Forum. I'm a proud member of the World Economic Forum. 2015, suddenly, I didn't know what they were. Oh no, just my chief of staff and my 50 research assistants didn't know what the World Economic Forum was. But it became unpopular and suddenly, whoops, she is a hardcore commie, that one. Or she's working as a intelligence asset herself. Regardless, Tulsi Gabbard, a vacuous piece of shit, the chances of her penetrating the intelligence community are about fucking zero. That fucking clown needs to go. You remember when Jeremy Michelle cornered her on national security issues, big time, critical infrastructure? No, nothing to say.
Of the USS Liberty, where Israelis killed lots of U.S. Navy men. Now we're going to put the Pentagon cloud in the hands of the same government. It's very weird.
Can I have your email, and then I'll just
Sure.
take all your questions and give them to her, and we'll get back to you.
Hegseth don't give a shit. He was a clown, a sincere clown. I'm sure he's sincere. He was never going to get that job. He's going to take on the Department of Defense bureaucracy. Yeah, right. Pretty boy Floyd. That was funny. But anyway, Trump's trying, man. He's trying to please the MAGA base, but the evil deep state keeps stopping him. Oh no, says Susie Wiles. Oh no, says Susie Wiles, who represents the interests of the George W. Bushes of the world, the Dick Cheneys of the world, that old guard, the old skull and bones boys, closet bisexuals and homosexuals. Is W still doing Jeff Gannon, this bald boy? Remember when it's a shame. I've heard some very positive things about W as a really nice guy. He speaks fluent Spanish. His employees love him. I won't say a bad word about him and say he's actually a really nice guy. And let's face it, he can dodge a shoe. Now, I'm sorry. I want to praise that journalist who threw those shoes. He's a legend. I want to know where he is, and I want a movie made about him. But the man is the president of the United States. He's in hostile territories, Iraq, and he manages to go,
If you want the facts, it's a size 10 shoe.
that's pretty ballsy. I'm sorry. I'll call ballsy when ballsy matters, and ballsy mattered at that stage. W. Bush, what can I tell you? He's the global village idiot, and he's not responsible for anything. Who was responsible? Kissinger and Associates, the German Jewish existentialist, in charge using his Jewish philosophy. Thank you, Israeli press. And again, just because I might put this on YouTube, I have to say 1,000 times, you want the best information on this? Go to the Israeli press, because they've been screaming about it for 15 solid years. Conservative, Haaretz, the left-wingers, Jerusalem Post, Times of Israel, every single one's been screaming about this. So good, soon Israel will be a secular state and a protectorate of the United States. That's good. With that in mind, maybe they'll get a holy document as holy as the US Constitution. You never know. So we've got Tucker cleared out of the way, Lackey taking messages to Putin for Susie Wiles and that gang. We've got Steve Feinberg. Let's talk about Steve Feinberg, who Trump put up for this job. Trump picks billionaire investor as Pentagon deputy. Stephen Feinberg, who had a role on Trump's intelligence advisory board during his first term, is a major donor to the president. Okay, Steve Feinberg, Cerebus, good old DynCorp. Remember Diane, the cat lady from Cat Diva from Tennessee? What she had to say?
Well, I'll tell you another thing that I find actually frightening, and that is Department of Defense's contracts with these Israeli companies. And DynCorp, I guess it is, actually bought out in a merger by an Israeli company. I can't think of the name right offhand. I'd have to pull it up.
In the race to be the best, DynCorp International has what it takes. For over 70 years, we've proven we have the strength to succeed.
From 2018? Yeah, there's Steve Feinberg. Oh, joy. Yeah, some of his picks are distinctly, we're not talking about him. We'll talk about the distraction. Little Tucker over in Moscow, we'll talk about the distraction. Pete Hegseth. That guy, one look at him, I just went, he's a sincere clown, but he's an absolute effing clown. I believe he said, kill all Muslims. I absolutely believe it. He's just a fucking clown. In clown shoes, red shoes on Fox News, a small alternative media channel run by a very small grassroots billionaire globalist and friends of Heinz Kissinger, Rupert Murdoch. Yes, you're missing something. I'm telling you now, what I find hilarious is the fact that Fox News is now the alternative media. Think about it. That's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's fucking hilarious. When the books are written, it's just going to be a comedy. Absolute fucking comedy. Regardless, there you go. Trump's not responsible. Oh, if only, poor Trump. Trump's trying. Oh, the MAGA base, he tried to get his people in, but they stopped him. Oh, no. Anyway, we'll see what's happening. There's good things and bad things. There's some very bad things. There's obviously a bunch of clowning. There's a bunch of and hardcore clowning, I might add. bunch of distraction, psychological warfare, destabilized perception. Obviously, they really came out swinging. I was even a bit shocked at shit. They hacked the bejesus, but I apparently have stopped them just by stopping every single Windows service with a firewall. On Windows, you can barely get online, but at least they're not hacking me and ruining my connection completely. And I did a little video showing internet not work, reinstall operating system via operating system image, Cronus True image, boom, internet works. 5 minutes later, internet stop. Reinstall the image, internet work, just to make the point. Anyway, that's fine. We learn. It looks like I'm going to have to try Apple. Yes, I'm actually going to try Apple because I have to F off Windows and x86 infrastructure. Clearly, they never hacked my Samsung tablet. Never in history have they hacked my Samsung tablet. Never touched it, but I just can't do the heavy work. I need OBS, so I'm going to have, God, it's going to kill me to go with Apple. My friends are laughing their ass off. I said, okay, because he's an Apple fan. And he said, dude, you got to get an Apple Mac Mini M4. This thing eats 4K, 60 frames per second, 120. It just eats it. And it doesn't even make a sound. You're mad. Just get a little Apple. And it's like, yeah, another $1,000 fucking. All right. Hopefully I won't throw it against the wall, but yes. And I'm going to show the change over to Apple. I'm not bothering with Linux. I'm sorry. I am not going to learn command line and F around with Linux to find the codecs aren't licensed and then this glitch and that. I'm just not doing it. I'm just going to go with Final Cut Pro and DaVinci Resolve on Apple. I just give up. Anyway, so I will make this transition over and film the whole thing, and hopefully we can get that viral on all the Apple fans, fanboys and fangirls, and just say F Windows and fuck all x86, Intel and AMD for that matter, because as Chris Domas told us in God Mode Unlocked, they have backdoored the living shit out of that thing and everyone's sick of it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so Tucker Carlson's over in Moscow running messages like the little whore piece of garbage he is. We've got the left, I don't even talk about them because they are retarded morons whose job was to so scare you they would scare you into the hands of the opposition, which are all run by the same people. But does that mean it's all bad? Geopolitically, the Trump administration pushing hard, caning the BRICS, making the dollar strong. It's all good. Are they doing deals with Jewish power? Absolutely. Chabad, they are raving fucking lunatics. And it's not just Chabad Lubavitch. There's dozens of different cults and groups. They're all drug money laundering, drug trafficking. They're in deep. They're running around pretending to be Christians. They're running the damn evangelical movement. They're laundering drug money through evangelical movements. They run the whole show. There are troll armies running every scam under the sun. There you will find them every single time. I think we've had enough of them. And so have the average Israeli Jew and pretend Russian Jew. They want them all out. They're going to dump them out of Israel and dump them in Ukraine. Oh, the poor Ukrainians, it's never going to end for them. The poor Slavs just suck on it every single day, don't they? But anyway, and Israel will be a secular state. So there's lots of good things happening. Good riddance to good old Assad, although I suspect they might do a deal with him and let him live because he's actually pretty moderate. Assad himself is a dork. He likes playing computer games. He's a doctor. And they all say he's actually a really nice guy, but he doesn't run anything. His generals run it all and he just signs on the dotted line. He runs City of London, all his bank accounts are in London. So all his friends, you know, he's like another Putin. So yeah, do a deal with, he was looking for help from Israel. So do a deal with Trump and just get this shit sorted out and end this death and destruction. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's remember, amongst all the drama, they were pre-planted. Tulsi Gabbard, Pete Hegseth, all pre-planted. They were always going to be knocked off. And just remember, it's people like Steve Feinberg trying to sneak their way in. Pete Navajo, no problem with him whatsoever. I think that's a good pick. It's very complicated, but we're just going to wait. Let's just wait and see it come out. The Trump tards are harder to fool these days. But I ain't seen Susie Wiles mentioned anywhere. So please let me know, show me any half-decent channels which are doing some decent stuff. The bigger the better. I'd really like to know what's going on. All right, we'll talk again soon.